Insider drops bombshell report involving Corbin Burnes and the Baltimore Orioles. And he talks about how the Baltimore's offered Corbin Burnes a massive contract, but he still didn't resign. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have a massive update, and it's all over MLB. The Baltimore Sun, the Baltimore Radio, everything MLB Network. Yes, the Baltimore Orioles final and official offer to Corbin Burnes. We have all that details coming up on this episode of Orioles Digest. But before you do anything, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Come join Orioles Digest. I'm giving you daily updates about the Baltimore's every single day that you don't want to miss. So without further ado, let's get into the Corbin Burnes contract reveal. We're going to talk money and we're going to talk about the Baltimore's final offer to Corbin Burnes this free agency. So I have the full details from Jacob Calvin Meyer of the Baltimore Sun. He said, Jacob Calvin Meyer, and I quote, the Baltimore Orioles went to a bid and offered Corbin Burnes 4 years, $180 million. That was their start point. So their start point was $180 million, 4 years. That was going to be Corbin Burnes. That was going to be the whole situation that the Baltimore Orioles and Corbin Burnes were going to go after. But Corbin Burnes wasn't interested in that. It seems like Burnes was just waiting for teams all off season, waiting for the best offer. He knew the Baltimore Orioles were making offers, but he had said the Baltimore Orioles weren't as aggressive as the Arizona Diamondbacks, who came out of nowhere in the middle and kind of swept Corbin Burnes off his feet because they knew he wanted to be in Arizona, closer to home, because that's where his family is in Arizona, Scottsdale, if I pronounced that right. But that was the huge situation for Corbin Burnes. So this report it's not shocking to me because I could have seen the Baltimore Orioles offer Corbin Burnes around $45 million a year. And if we talk about all the other guys, Garrett Cole, Shohei Ohtani, Cole Ragnas, Aaron Nola, Paul Skeens, Corbin Burnes would have made more than all those guys, 45 million a year. That would have been the second highest in the MLB, and that would have been the first highest out of all pitchers in MLB. So if we want to complain and say the Baltimore's are not spending money, well, they would have if Corbin Burnes would have accepted that offer. And I'm pretty sure they would have went up more guaranteed. So I'm probably sure we're looking at a contract around 225, 230. And that's going to be more with the Arizona Diamondbacks offered. So Corbin Burnes took less for more better situations for his family. And I think that's what's starting to happen in MLB and sports in general. But this is news that we've already known. So we're going to get on our next topic of the day. We are going to talk about the Baltimore Orioles' current state. What's going on with the Baltimore Orioles right now? We just talked about Corbin Burnes, and Corbin Burnes played them and was perfect against them. So it's like you just got rid of Corbin Burnes, Grayson Rodriguez is on IL, Kyle Brash is on IL, um, Zach Eflin's doing pretty good. Povich. My fault. I said it right, guys. Povich is looking pretty good, pretty decent so far. So Charlie Morton has looked pretty bad. Kyle Bradish is in AA with the Norfolk Tides. He'll be up pretty soon. I guess he's just coming back up the ramp because he signed late in free agency right after spring training. So the Baltimore's have so many options they can go to. Now, the hitting has not been what I expected. I did not expect Gunnar Henderson to be this slow. Yes, he's coming off an injury. He's trying to bounce back. With the home run, the power has not been there. Stolen bases, he already has two in a couple games he's played. Jackson Holliday, still inconsistent. He needs to feel like he's still striking out at a high rate. Now, this time, he'll figure it out up here instead of going back to AAA. I don't ever want to see him back in the minors. Colton Cowser, he's hurt. That was unfortunate, but 6 more weeks of Colton Cowser out. That's rough for this team. Cedric Mullins is the Baltimore's best player right now. As I'm making this video, Cedric Mullins is the Baltimore's best player right now. And it's no other way around it. Cedric Mullins is the Baltimore Orioles' best player right now. And going back to the Corbin Burnes situation, we're thinking about Cedric Mullins. Are the Baltimore Orioles going to offer a contract for Cedric Mullins? Say Cedric Mullins has a year, 28 home runs, 30 stolen bases, bats over 270, over 82 RBIs, OPS well over 900. You can't not be like, I can't re-sign him. You have to. You have to do everything in your power to re-sign him. That's the guy that you need on this team. And I think Cedric Mullins has been very valuable to this organization, to this franchise, to this team for so long. So that's a guy that we actually have to keep. Now, going on more about the Baltimore Orioles, there's so many guys they could have got this offseason. Blake Snell, Max Fried, and who all signed in early of December. So, and then you had Nathan Lavaldi, who's on the board. And then Rangers said, no, you know what? We want him back. And then Garrett Crochet, who the Baltimore have been talking about since the last trade deadline when they had a deal in work for the Cubs, but the Cubs wanted Jackson Holliday. I mean, not the Cubs. The White Sox wanted Jackson Holliday. And the Baltimore said, basically, hell no. So they pushed him out the way. So the Orioles have had their fair share of luck, but they've only spent 30 million on pitching, 40 million on pitching, and there's been three guys over the age of 35. So you have two pitchers who are pushing 40. One is basically already 40. He's over his 40. One is pushing almost 40. How do you think that's going to turn out? I just think the Baltimore's have to do something. They have to make a trade. Luis Castillo, still try to get Dylan Cease or do something fast because this is not a playoff team with this rotation. I'm sorry. This team is just not good enough for whatever situation, whatever opportunity, or wherever we want to go at an MLB this season. This team has to be better, and the only way for that is to get a trade. Because if Grace Rodriguez and Kyle Brash are fully healthy in this rotation, it would be good enough. But now it needs to be good. You need an ace. So go out, trade an ace, and hopefully the Baltimore Orioles can be back to winning baseball in the AL East once again. Well, that's all we have for today, folks. I don't know if the Baltimore Orioles will play a game tonight. It's pretty rainy, snowy. I'm looking at, I'm in Boston right now, and it's just been snowing crazy all day. So that's everything we got. But thank you for watching us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and thank you for joining Orioles Digest. I'm your host, Kam Brice.